one thing you mentioned there, which I think is really important, is persistence. And in other words, you've got to be playing the long game and keep testing and to see what works
Yeah,
and what doesn't.
if you play the long game, absolutely, like that's the most important thing. Like I was thinking about this the other day, like what separates, like why am I at this level where other coaches aren't? And I think one of the big things is it's, you hear all the time, it's mindset, but specifically patience. I think I'm more patient than most other coaches. And so I've just simply outlasted them because I'm more patient to wait for those results. I had that long game and persistence. And part of persistence obviously is testing and tweaking and trying different things. If you have those two things, you can make any funnel work. If you've got patience and persistence, you can be successful with any funnel. It just is, the question is, do you have that? How motivated are you to keep persevering, with a funnel when it doesn't work first go? That's the question.
Yeah, I love that. Patience and persistence are two P's. It's if you're prepared to do that, and you can last the distance, there's no guarantees that you'll win or be successful, but you can be pretty close to almost guaranteeing, because it just,
I think most people will be a lot further ahead than what they ever dreamed they would if they're patient and persistent. For me, like a goal was like 10 grand a month. When I first go, that was a big goal for me. When I was in London struggling all those years, that was so, like 10 grand a month felt like so far away. And being, way past that at the moment, again, I'd never thought like that was, again, just a goal for me to get to 10 grand a month, that I'd be happy with that. But, I think, and now I'm still not like, I still want to grow. I still want to move forward. That's what we naturally want to do as humans. But I think that if you're patient and persistent, you may not become like a billionaire or like, 100 millionaire, but you will be shocked at where you are in, many years time from where you started.
Yeah.
I think most people would.
Yeah. There's a quote.
In a good way.
Yeah. Well, there's a great quote from Bill Gates. Said a lot of people overestimate what they can do in 1 year, but underestimate what they can do in 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years is a long time.
Yeah. And people quite often can't see that far ahead. So
yeah.
It
wasn't even 10 years ago that I was like 10 years ago, I was still working for AFP, which is that just blows like that. Like the stories I could tell you about what's happened over the last, like I'm a dad of like a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old to start off with, and that's not even including the whole journey in London. And I lived in the US for like 3 months trying to get my business going there. So many things have happened, and it's like, was it 9 years? And so 10 years is a really long time in business. But really it's, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long as well in other ways. But a lot can happen in 10 years. What I would say is, if you want to get into, like, if you're not in business and you want an easy way to have the patience and perseverance is to have something else that brings in cash flow on the side while you run your business. If your business is not profitable, it's like one of my biggest mistakes was moving to London with no other cash flow other than my savings. And I wouldn't do that again. Knowing what I know now, I could do it fine because I have the skills, but I wish I had just got that side gig, like in a bar or whatever. And worked for a few hours a day and then built my business, outside of those hours. I think that's good advice, because it allows, it takes the pressure off having to pay the bills and whatnot, and allows you to look at this in terms of the long game. Like, hey, this is like this is going to be my new career. I'm going to be in this for like the rest of my life, or at least the next 20 years or so. And so what have I got to do to help set me up for success? I'm going to do this temporarily, this side gig, work in a bar or whatever. May not be what I want to do, but I can still work on my business during the day. And then when I get to a point where it's paying the bills, then I can quit this side gig. I think that's if I had to my time over again, that's what I would do.